As coronavirus cases surge in the U.S., Latino communities are suffering high rates of infections. The CDC says Latinos are hospitalized from the virus at more than 4 times the rate of white Americans. The CBS News special Pandemia, Latinos in Crisis, looks at why this community is vulnerable and shares the stories of people on the front lines. In this preview, Ed O'Keefe talks to New York State Assembly member Catalina Cruz about stepping up to help her hard-hit community.
We are the epicenter of the epicenter. Ponte la máscara, mi amor.
For many across the country, the last 3 months
You realize how many children are on the line?
have upended their lives.
That means their parents probably had to go back to work.
So they sent the kids to pick it up.
Because I didn't have this many kids on the line before.
And Latino leaders
How many?
are rushing to help.
You have a microwave? Okay.
Based in Queens, New York, Catalina Cruz, a Colombian immigrant, is the first dreamer to serve in the New York State Assembly.
Hoy sí vino temprano. Eso. Conóceme más, mi amor. These are really kind people who will get to the end of the line and we have no more food, and they have 4 meals, and they'll turn around and give 2 to the person behind them.
She's an angel in this neighborhood.
Her constituents let her know when they like her
I want she to be a mayor.
and when they don't.
She does some of it. No. She does for illegals, not the people that live
Do
here.
you see what I mean?
By the morning of March 17th, 5 days before New York was ordered to stay home, Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz's district office became a food pantry.
So this is where we have the food set up, and we start giving it out, and we kind of
Today, her team gives out at least 2,000 meals a day.
Buenas.
Every day, the line wraps around the block.
What's going through your head as you walk the line?
But that could have been me and my mom. That had I not become one of the lucky ones, I'd be on a line with my mom.
But what does it say that in the nation's largest city, allegedly the financial center of the country and of the world, an assemblywoman has to do this for her constituents?
When it came time to help my people, they left us alone. They left us alone. I had lines of people. There were like 2,000.
Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz, who is an angel in her neighborhood. Maria Elena Salinas will anchor this special airing Sunday. She's with us from Miami. Maria Elena, good morning. Why are Latino communities especially vulnerable to this virus?
Good morning, Anthony. Good to talk to you. Well, there's several reasons. One of them, of course, is a medical factor. Latinos are more prone to get diabetes and heart disease. There's also the cultural factor, which is many multi-generational families are Latino. They live in small spaces that sometimes prevents them from being able to social distance. But the main factor is that they are essential workers that are out there keeping the economy going, and they're doing jobs that cannot be done from home. And that's probably one of the things that exposes the Latino community more to this virus.
So what can government officials do to help?
Well, we're not seeing much help from the federal government or from state governments, with the possible exception of California. And that's why you see people, local politicians, just like Catalina Cruz, as you saw in this story, stepping up and helping their community. And what we have seen is that national Hispanic civic organizations, activists, advocates, philanthropists have really stepped up in the Hispanic community to help. They use their platforms to advocate, but they also reach into their pockets to be able to create some kind of funds for the Latino community.
Maria Elena, does immigration status ultimately affect whether someone can get a test or whether they're actually going to seek treatment?
Well, it shouldn't, but unfortunately, it does. It does prevent them. Not having the necessary documents, legal documents, immigration documents, is really difficult because access to health care or to adequate health care is more complicated. One of the reasons I think also is even though during a global pandemic, everyone should have access to testing, to treatment, there is a certain fear among the undocumented community that seeking that help, seeking that access is going to affect them, that, it could, their fear of rejection, fear of persecution, but more importantly, fear of being able to access their documents, like maybe losing the opportunity to get a green card.
There are a lot of families struggling to make ends meet during this pandemic, Maria Elena. What practical advice will there be for them in this special?
This special does not only talk about the problems that they face, but also some of the solutions. And like you mentioned, the finances is probably one of the most important ones, since so many Latinos have lost their jobs or lost income and can't afford to pay their rent, can't afford to pay to put food on the table. Maria Villarreal in this special talks to the president and CEO of the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, who gives very practical advice. Among the advice he gives is, prioritize your expenses. Don't be afraid to ask, and reminded them that a lot of Fortune 500 companies failed several times before they had to pick up and become successful again. So there is practical advice, and there's a lot of star power also in this special. We have Eva Longoria, Wilmer Valderrama, a lot of the Latino leaders in their community, advocates who are really stepping up to give advice. And hopefully you will watch. Remember that this special is the first one that CBS does with a complete crew of Latino reporters. All the journalists in front of the camera are Latino, and most of the ones that work behind cameras are also Latino. So Latino power on CBS.
Maria Elena Salinas, thank you so much. Pandemia, Latinos in Crisis will air Sunday night at 9, 8 Central on CBSN, and is available now at cbsnews.com/pandemia.